Hello. Hello. It has been a bit of time since I've done one of these. I think it's been about, well, almost 2 months now, since I actually got fired. I have had a few changes in my situation in my life. First of all, I did not find a job back yet. I have looked for it a lot, and I'm sorry about my hair. Ooh. But yeah, I have looked for a job, but I have not been able to get one back. My financial situation is getting pretty bad, but I mean, what can you do, right? That's how things are. It's unfortunate, but I'm gonna have to live with it. With that being said, things aren't that bad yet. I'm doing okay. Mentally, I've had a pretty bad time for about a week. If I actually also talked about it on stream. I talked about it on stream that I've had a pretty bad time, and I mean, yeah, you know, things have gotten better. They're not perfect, but it's better. I'm doing fine. Yeah. Other than that, though, I don't really know what to talk about. I just turned on the camera and I was like, okay, so am I doing this or not? Because I've had something in my mind that I wanted to do and that I don't know if it's the right thing to do. Should I actually go back to being a bilingual YouTube channel? Because if you don't know, I am 100% bilingual. I pretty much bilingual. I'm French. I'm French. I live in France. I'm I just, I speak the language. I know how to speak the language. I know how to speak English too. And that is something that I want to showcase, both of my languages. Not just the language, both of them. I want to also just show up my prowess in French as well, even if it's not, it's just speaking the language, But right now, with my situation being that I'm also going to be more involved in the French landscape a bit more because I'm going to be on casting duty in France. Yeah. So by the way, tonight, 1 hour after this releases, by the way, I'm actually gonna also have something like a VOD review with someone that is in the medium of casting. And so yeah, it's pretty good, to have that to have that be a thing. It's pretty nice. I'm gonna be able to improve on my French casting. Although, of course, I would like to be able to also to also cast in English. If I'm not doing it yet, well, that's fine. That's fine. As long as I can improve also in English, in French, that's fine, right? But so what happened to me now is, am I actually going to do some videos in French? Because am I going to cannibalize some of my audience when it's pretty small? But am I going to cannibalize some people that are watching the video sometimes for like Mad Games Tycoon and things like this? It's not something that I want to do, to lose a part of my audience, but at the same time, I think that opening myself up to a different audience is also quite nice. And yeah, I think it would be interesting to do both. I've already done streams in both languages. I've started back some French streams right now on a lot of League. It's a lot of League for the French streams, but yeah, that's because, well, when I'm in League now, I feel like actually going for French is just the norm pretty much now. Because yeah, I'm casting in French. It just feels better. All the other videos, by the way, yeah, I mean, all the videos that I'm making, yeah, it's all English stuff. But maybe I'm thinking about doing some French ones, about League, maybe some other stuff too. But I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know because So like, yeah, the thing is, yeah, the only videos that I would make in French would be those league ones for now, because I don't know what else. I don't think that, for example, I don't think that the French market has been on Risk of Rain at all. It's unfortunate because Risk of Rain is fucking great, but no one in France really knows about it. Not enough people know about it. It's a niche, you know, and it's not the only one, because there are like games like Bilingual. That this one is less niche because people know about that one more because of some people like Mr. MV, which has played it a bunch, which is a big streamer. If you want to know about who that is, it's a big streamer. And yeah, if you see me looking at the side here, that's because I have the MSI at the same time playing. It's the Wildcats against the Red Canids right now. I am predicting the Wildcats with their composition to win. There you go. If you count the level of play, Red Canids, you know, I think they're the better players. I think that the Red Canids are the better players. Nice ult, by the way, Jen. Anyway, I might make some casting streams in French. I'm talking about the practice casting streams that I'm making, you know, for the sheet and everything. I might also show that, the last sheet that I'm making. I might show that, the new one, because it's impressive. Okay, even for me, it's actually impressive. I'm sorry about my hair. I'm really trying to get it. It's bad. It's bad. But whatever. I'll have to deal with it. But yeah, actually, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. Transition. Wow. So it's not a game. This is sheet. See, where is it? Window capture. This. 1 second. It's going to be there. Sheet. And where is it? Here. There we go. So, that's my sheet. Hi. So, yeah. I wanted to take a look at this. You know, to have you take a look at this. This is my 2015 spring regular split sheet. It's pretty big. Yeah, it's pretty big. We're zoomed at 10%. It's pretty fucking big. And I'm gonna say, I feel like this is the most impressive thing I've ever done. I think this is the most impressive thing I've ever done. So, let's go back all the way up, okay? Let's go back all the way up and talk about it slowly. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to talk about myself here, so this is why I'm coming here next, because I talked about all I wanted. Expect some French videos, that's the thing. There you go. With that being said, sheet. So, I've done only 2 games for now. As you can see, I've done only 2 games. I've done one for Elements Fanatic, and the other one is Giants Meet Your Makers. I have an average game score here that I've added. This is a new thing that I've added here, as you can see. I changed this, the average win and loss time, to have an average game time as well, because I feel like that's actually something that's needed that I didn't have before. So there we go. I have here a short insight for all the patches. It's a bit better, it's a bit bigger, and yeah, I prefer it like that. And here we have all the teams with their extra stats. Because I had more than 2 teams now, I had to change the way I did this compared to the Worlds one. So I had to do it in a line like this instead, and it's just number done, average time, number done, average time, number done, average time. Not like this every time. And it's not the most ergonomic thing ever, but it's still better because I can just do it as a line and just take the case and then do this. If ever there is a need of 5, I can do this, and I can remove the one that isn't in, which is the best thing for me, actually, to do. I've done this here, I've done this here, as you can see, and then I just add the other one at the bottom. So yeah, game score, average game score. Since there is only 1 game, this is just a normal number for now. It's out of 5. You'll see it when I go to the game. This didn't change at all. The average game stats, the average team stats didn't change at all. The player stats also didn't really change. I just had to take off two stats, which are the damage per minute and the champion damage, because I cannot get these stats, unfortunately, and damage share. I cannot get these stats in 2015 for some reason. Up until Worlds, I cannot get those stats, and it's unfortunate, but that's how it goes. And here we have the big change. So, on my other sheets from 2014 spring, I think, maybe summer. Let me check. I think it's from spring that I've done this. I'm just checking. Yes, it is from spring that I've done this. So from 2014 spring onwards to Worlds 2014, I did something that was really just basic. So I had one champion, and I chose all of his roles, and I was like, okay, so there you go. That's all your roles. You played that number of roles. Good job there. I don't care about those stats. You just get one line for each role. Instead, now what I've done is I have separated each champion in 5 different roles. All of them. As you can see, Zed, 5 roles. I'm going to go down a bit. Zed, 5 roles. Ari, 5 roles. LeBlanc, 5 roles. Rek'Sai, 5 roles. Even if they are going to be played only one role. But I had to keep them all, 5 roles. Just just boom. And there you go. That's how I got all of this. And as you can see, none of them has been played in 2 different roles yet. Unfortunately. Because that means that I've just wasted a lot of time for now. I don't know if there are going to be a lot of characters that are going to be played in different roles. I think Lissandra should. Lissandra might be played in mid lane too. Yeah. And there you go. That's basically going to be it. I don't think others are really going to be played in 2 different roles. Yeah, I don't think so. So, I mean, fine. It's whatever. Lulu, actually. Lulu might be played top and support. So that one may be a triple flex. So that's why, when you have a champion that can be played in both mid lane and support, this is the main difference, And top lane too in 2015, because you had those lane swaps. So the CS could be much lower and things like this. So it still kind of made sense to have that difference. So, with that being said, those are all the champion stats. As you can see, bans, role win rate. I have a global win rate and a total presence. So each role has its own win rate for each champion, with a global win rate for each champion as well. That takes on the sum of all of these, pretty much. It's not really that. It's the sum of all of these plus the sum of... Oh, wait. No, that's fine. Plus the sum of all of these and the sum of all of these taken in account for this, as you can see. So it's wins divided by the wins plus the losses. That's how you do a percentage. So if I have, for example, 2-1 and this is like 3, as you can see, global win rate will be a 66.67%, which is exactly what it should be at. So, with that being said, this is the first part of the bigger thing. With all the stats, of course, here, all the stats here, they're all taken into account. Of course, what this means is that I have to take it on every single line instead of every single team, which would have been much better for me. But no, I have to look at every single line. And this thing here is massive. It is massive. It's 340 lines. I think there's like 80 plus champions played in spring. And now we get to the big second part. So this was champions. Just the champions played. Right? Now we get to the players. And the champions that each player has played. How would I do that? Well, first of all, I had to check on Leaguepedia to see how many players were there, how many champions were played by each player, and that gave me this list. So Wicked played 6, Shook played 9, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 only. Frogger played 9. No, 10. Reckless played 6. And Nif actually got changed, but he played 6. And as you can see, there's Crepo and there's Kevin. Same here, as you can see. All of these, boom, different champions played. Of course, the roles doesn't count. The roles don't count on that one. There's only one role for each of them because it's on the player, you know. So yeah. And so what that means is that I have now a champion win rate, a player win rate, and then I get the stats on all of them. And this is the biggest thing I've ever done. Okay, by far the biggest thing I've ever done. Because it is massive. Look at that. I'm going to go down all the way. This is 370 lines. But the thing is, filling in those lines takes forever. I take 20 minutes to finish a full game to get analyzed. To actually get the stats in. 20 minutes. I would normally take less than 10. Now, as I'm going to move on, I'm going to probably go faster and everything. So count more like 15, you know, average. My average would be around 15. But this is extremely slow to get in. Okay? It's extremely slow. Also, I want to see, can I? No, of course it doesn't count for all of them. This is fine. I'm going to have to move it all myself, one after the other, because I don't like when this is only at 31. I prefer at 41, because I think that 41 is more readable, actually. Because it's a bit too, you know, it's reduced in size for all of them, and I don't really like that. So I'm going to have to try and move it a bit bigger. As I did here, as you can see, these are 41, all of them. But it takes a while because it's 370 lines that you have to fucking control click on the side and everything. So it's long. But yeah, this is my sheet for stats. For the regular split stats in 2015 in ULCS. A lot of players have changed as well. Because yeah, 2015 was a year of big change in the LCS, in the EU LCS. Like, really big change. When I say big change, I mean it. And so now we get onto the games. So first, we'll look at the template. This is the template for a game. I have changed a few things in there. If you want to go back to when I showed my sheet for Worlds back at, I think it was the semifinals of Worlds, I showed you that it wasn't exactly like this. It was different. Slightly different. So we've got still the same thing at the top. Number of game, and then the team names on both sides with their colors that I've taken here. As you can see, all of these are the team colors. I have done a different pre-game expectation. So pre-game expectation here takes on the team, which are here. These are the teams here. So whenever in here, for example, you have Unicorns of Love, so the name here will change to the Unicorns of Love. As you can see, yes, it's pretty big as a thing here. I've also done one for an error or one for nothing in. As you can see, when there's nothing in, I say 0, which is here. That's that argument right here. And if there is none of the other things, then error. Because I filled it wrong or something like this. So there you go. And it works for both. You know, this one and this one. It works for both. So if there's Unicorns of Love here, then you get UOL as a name. If there's H2K Gaming, you get H2K. Of course, I have to fill it exactly how I implanted it in here. So for H2K, it's a K, a small K, followed by that hyphen. And yeah, I really have to do it that way, else it would not work. Oh, I'm sorry. I just looked at a shot from Titan actually getting Holy Phoenix with 1 R. That was nice from Jin. So there you go. That's H2K. What else is there that can be a bit challenging? Like Copenhagen, Wolves. Let's see here. I missed it. So error. Because it doesn't actually work on things that are wrong. So there you go. Copenhagen Wolves, CW. This is a small little thing, but I really like doing this. Yeah. So these teams, pre-game expectations. So I fill in if I think this team would win or lose, you know, by throwing in satisfying or not satisfying and satisfying in these two right here. I also changed their colors because I didn't like that. You know, it was a bit too like this. You know, it was something like this, and I don't like these colors that much. So I changed them myself, and I think it's a bit better. You know, I think it's a bit better. So there you go. This is the this is just this. Whoops, not normal. This. There we go. Hey, yo, what? Stats. There we go. Thank you. And there you go. Then I say a few lines about the team and how I think they would be doing. Then I have to fill in the players myself. You know, yeah, I kind of have to do that. It's fine. It doesn't take that long, and I can do it whenever we are in draft anyway. There's a full draft phase, full team composition, the time stats here, team performance for both teams. I didn't do a match performance. I did a team performance now, which is different, but it also makes me a bit more analytical in how I'm doing this. Draft explanation, same thing. A bit more analytical in how I'm doing this because I have both sides of the draft to explain. See? I have both sides of the draft to explain. And you'll see how it works when I go right, left. Team stats and... so these two, team stats and player stats, are the same. I don't move these anymore. I think I'm going to basically keep them the same forever. And then we have who won each game phase. So I changed this to make it more analytical. Early lane, end of lane, mid game, late game. So early lane is around 8 minutes. So first Herald spawn for us, but you know, Herald was not a thing back then. It still works for first Drake, basically, for 8 minutes. Pretty much first Drake. It depends on if the team wants to play it. Then you have phase win. So which team do I think wins the phase? If there's none, I just put it in black. I put it with this VS color right here. If there's no late game or something like this, I just do no late and I put it also in black like this. And then I have a small explanation here down there. It's pretty small, but it's a size 14 in font, so I can actually fit in like 4 lines in 3, so that's pretty good. It's not that bad. And then, of course, I have the game summary at 20 and at the end of the game that I still keep because I think that it's also better for me. And basically what it makes is 8 minutes, 14 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes, because mid-game is never really defined, you know. And then late game, 35 plus, and end of the game. So there you go. We have this game right here, Elements versus Fnatic. This was the first game, and I have a pre-game expectation here. Pre-game, Elements are better, normally, you know? They're supposed to be better as a team. Oof, that's a big fight for the Wildcats. I actually win the game. The Istanbul Wildcats win the game. So draft win. The draft wins. They have 15 seconds, but I think they can end. I'm sorry. Yeah, so pre-game expectation. You know, as I say, Elements were the former Alliance squad plus Reckless. If their synergy can show up, they're going to be the best team in Europe this split. Of course, I know that they won't be, but they were supposed to be. Because if you look at Alliance and how they were supposed to be the best team in Europe. Because Alliance were the best team in Europe in 2014. Not at Worlds, because at Worlds it was Fnatic. But let's not talk about that. But Fnatic are coming in with 4 new players and some comms issue potentially with a Korean top in jungle. We don't know their strength yet. And after this game, oh, you will. But yeah, draft phase. Who put this draft together for Yale? Like, you're putting yourself in a situation where you're going to have one threat early with lackluster setup and one threat late with even lacklusterer setup. Yeah, it's not a word, I know. And for Fnatic, they went full smork. They went full smork. As I say, for like, it's, as Azeles would say, full smork. You just go in and you don't think about going back. It's full smork. And there you go. I mean, come on. You had Lissandra, Sivir, Rengar with an Annie also for the extra CC and a Xerath to follow up from long range. Also, Febiven played really well in this game. I think 3.75 for their team performance is actually pretty low. I'm going to actually up it because they played really well. They play really well. Elements didn't really show up, unfortunately. Wicked really played badly. But there you go. The early game was a bit meh, I would say. So I'm going to reduce it to 4. But there you go. Fnatic got everything except the first dragon. But that's fine. If you only give them 2, as they did, it's fine. It's not an issue. And there you go. Reignover has taken control of that early game with already 2 ganks. And both have been somewhat successful. Somewhat. Because one has only taken a flash, if I remember. One of them did get them the first blood. So that was pretty good. But that didn't mean anything really. And top lane went pretty badly for the Lissandra early game. You know, Wicked still knows how to play Aurelia. But other than that, it was meh. It was meh. But yeah, also, new map. And that's very good for me. It's very refreshing to see. And Giants against Meteor Makers. That was basically another, big one that I thought would go for MYM. But I knew the result before getting in. So I had to get back in the mindset of, okay, so what are MYM and what are Giants? So Giants are a team that barely made it into the LCS thanks to the expansion tournament. And MYM are Super Hot Crew from 2014 summer. So, I mean, they should be better, right? But they've had a few changes. Oh, man, they lost Selfie. Maybe that's bad, They lost Selfie. But I was like, so it's the former SHC roster with changes in mid, jungle, and support. Coach is Yamato Cannon, but team definitely weaker, but not supposed weak. That's how I thought. That's what I thought. And Giants, new full Spanish roster. We don't know what to expect yet for both teams. It's true. We don't know what to expect. On the first game, we don't really know. But of course, Giants demolished that game. They really did. 27 minutes. No late, as I say here. No late. So there you go. It was just demolition. And yeah, I understood the first part of the draft for Giants. B13 made sense as to what they wanted to do. Then you throw in 2 late game scalers, and it can work if you play it quickly around bot and have a good transition into late. Did they do that? No. They played around top. They played around top fully. So, And MYM, it's a small comp, but worse than what Fnatic have done. Renekton is very bad. Olaf needs to get up early, and if he doesn't, it's dead. You're not going to get anything done. Yeah, and as I said, and this one worked out, your damage is lacking. If you fall behind, you lose. It worked out because that's what happened. And now I'm doing a third game right now. Copenhagen has 1 engage, and that engage is a wombo combo. If it works, cool. If it doesn't, well, that's fine since H2K's draft sucks. But really, H2K's draft sucks. You have nothing. The only potential in the game, normally, if players are both, evenly matched, the only real avenue that you have for a gank is bot. Did it work out that way? Well, the early game was actually for Odoamne. Sion demolished the top. He demolished top. So, yeah, that was weird. That was really weird. Never mind about that top lane counter pick because Odoamne is just a much better player. That's what I said. No vision, overextensions. Young Buck is bad at laning. He was. He overextended thrice just because, you get frozen, but that's your fault, right? You get frozen by a Sion. Yeah, it's your fault. You put yourself in this situation where you're going to get frozen on. So have fun actually trying to be in this game, doing something in this game. Because now you're against a Sion that is 2-0, if I remember. Yeah, 2-0 at 10. He's actually really big at that point. Has got first blood as well, if I remember. Is that... Yeah, that's him, right? Yeah, he got first blood. So, it's going to be big. He's going to be big. So now you put yourself in a situation where Sion can actually overtake the Psy lane. And it can have a repercussion for the rest of the map. Will it? Not really, because we have already seen something happening in the mid lane. That was 100% for Copenhagen Wolves. Soren, actually, Cassiopeia was a pretty good pick here. The Cassio will do pretty well in this game. And Cassio got changed in 2015 for her passive, the aspect of the serpent, I think it was. And it was strong. It was a strong passive, that. It was a strong passive. But anyway, yeah, this is it. I haven't done anything other than that. As you can see, this game is not even complete. Expect the next stream of this to be on the second day of 2015 spring. I'm going to do 3 more games of this on my own, and then when I'm done with this, I'll actually do the next day of games all in a row. I'm going to try and do all 5 games just on stream, casting. Might be in French, as I talked about just before. Might be in French, but we will see about that. With that being said, it has been 30 minutes. I've spent 25 minutes explaining this because, it's what I do. It's what I love doing, and there you go. And with that being said, I'll see you guys for the next video. Bye.